and join in the song.
Before viewing the next application video, please go to HaleyWoodrow.com, go to the Download section to the Practical Musician, and download Course 1 and Course 2 rhythm charts. Today's application video is on All of Me as performed by John Legend. And I like what we have going here. We're just having a little intro video and then we bring Joel up, and I think that's a good plan, so we're going to continue going with that. So first things first, with All of Me, you'll notice on the upper left hand side at the beginning of the piece of music there are 4 flats. So the flats are B, E, A, and D flat. Remember, I did teach you a little trick. The second to last flat is the key that you're in. So if you have B, E, A, D, the second to last flat is A flat. So, and that's the key that you're in. Another way to do it is to go through your circle of fifths. C, no flats, no sharps, so you could go around the circle of fifths. Remember that with sharps, you're going to go up to the 5th note, but with flats, you're going to go down 5 notes, or up 4 notes, whatever works for you. But I'd like to stick with fifths because that's what it's called. It's called the circle of fifths. So C has no sharps, no flats. We go to the 5th note down from C. F has 1 flat. Go to the 5th note down from F, you have B flat, which has 2 flats. Go down to the 5th note from B flat, you have E flat, which has 3 flats, and then from E flat, you go down 5 notes, you get A flat, and A flat has 4 flats. So we're in the key of A flat. Other thing, we have cut time. Cut time, what that means is instead of having 4 beats a measure, you're only going to have 2 beats a measure. But the difference between 2/4 time and cut time is that the music, the notes are still notated to look like 4/4 time. So if you didn't see cut time there, I mean a quarter note would in your mind probably get 1 beat. And in this case with this song, could beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would not be beating in cut time. So by saying cut time, they're saying that the tempo is 1, 2, 1, 2. And if that's the way that you look at it, that's the way you count it, then in this case, a quarter note is going to get half a beat, half note will get 1 beat. So it's going to feel like 2/4 time. The notes will function like 2/4 time. The difference is it still looks like 4/4 time. So that's what cut time is, and they did that just to make it easier on the musicians to read. So that's cut time. All right, let's look at the way this song repeats. I'm going to pull this MIDI keys out of the way for a second here. You see letter A, which is at measure 5. So we're going to go through measure 5, through the end of measure 12, repeat back to A. That's what a repeat sign does. We're going back through, come into B at measure 13, playing there. Then we come to C at measure 21. That'll repeat at the end of 28, back to C. Then we come to 29. I gave you all that little part right there, 29, and then after that, you notice you get to the end of 36, it says back to A. So when you get here the first time, you come back up to A and do the form again. Now, so let's say we just got back here for the second time to this part, and we play through B, we play through C, we play through D. The second time we just keep on going into E. So just one little explanation. I told you we'd be doing looking at different rhythm charts. and that this is one of them. You know, they all have different things on it, and it's good to learn to read. Okay, let's talk about a few different chords. I think I had it about there. All right. Oh, sorry. There we go. A flat major 9. Now, A flat major 7, remember major 7 is just major triad, A flat, C, E flat, plus a major third. Okay, so for now, since we haven't gone over 9 chords, you're going to hear Joel mention A flat major 9. That's what I'm talking about that, by the way. It's not on the actual music anywhere, but you'll hear him say this. So you have A flat major 7, and all you're just going to do is add on a B flat. Another way to think about it is C minor 7, which is a C minor triad, plus a minor third, over A flat. Consequently, that's the way that that chord will get played a lot of times too. You might not necessarily have the A flat up in this hand, up here. So that's A flat major 9. Now D flat, as in dog, D flat major 7. We have a D flat triad. Of course, you're seeing MIDI keys is calling that D flat a C sharp, which is enharmonic, right? So we know that word. So let's pretend like that says D flat, F, A flat. There's our major triad. A major 7 chord is just a major triad plus a major third. So you'll hear Joel talk about D flat major 7. That's what that is. All right, another thing is progressions. We've talked about the 1, 4, 5 progression from chapter 4 of the book. And then we've also talked about just progressions on the major scale, like how to harmonize, you know, or, right, oops. And then we said, so we talked about a couple of different ways to harmonize diatonic chords on the major scale. So now we're going to learn the progression 6, 4, 1, 5. And what I'm referring here, when I say 6, I'm referring to a chord built off the 6th scale degree. So if I'm in A flat, the 6th note in the A flat scale is F. Okay? So if I say the progression is 6, as the first part of the progression, I'm saying that there's going to be a chord built off of this note F in the bass. So Joel, of course, will talk about different ways that John Legend voices it, but that's what he's meaning when he says 6. Okay, so we have 6, then 4 in the A flat scale, C sharp, which is D flat. So we're going from F, which is 6, to D flat, which is 4. And then 6, 4, 1. So 1 is just A flat. So we got 6, 4, 1, and then finally, and notice I'm in my right hand. I'm playing an A flat triad in the first inversion. In the right hand triad. I'm still in root because of my bass. And then finally we go to 5, which is built off of E flat. Alright, so the progression is 6, 4, 1, 5. There's your progression. Alright, let's talk about one of the chord symbols. I think I'm going to have to go back up for us to see it. There in measure 1, F5. It's interesting that this is a chord symbol because really what F5 is telling you to do is to play an interval. So it's not even a chord, it's just an interval. Whenever you see F5, what they're telling you is please play the root and the 5th above the root. So F5 would be F, and then a 5th above that, F, G, A, B, C. And that would be F5. So same thing in the 4th measure, you see E flat 5, E flat, and then a 5th above that. It creates a very open sound. Alright, very much not like gospel, like the other extreme from gospel. All right. Okay. One more thing before we bring Joel's video up. There's a lot of different ways to interpret songs. At the letter D, which is 29, and then where D repeats there at the bottom of the page, I have a certain way that I've notated what's happening. So it starts with A flat and F at the same time, and those are quite a bit away from each other. Here we are. So we have A flat and F coming on beat 1, C coming on the and of 1, or the te of 1, however you want to look at it, and then the F repeating itself up an octave on 2. So I have 1 te 2, or 1 and 2. All right. Then the G in the soprano voice, the top voice there, G coming on the and of 2. So I have 1 and 2 and. Then in the let me just highlight it down there or put my cursor over it. Right here, that F above the bass clef, that's coming on the and of 3. So I have 1, 2, or excuse me, 1 and 2 and 3 and. So nothing comes on 3, just something coming on the and of 3, and then finally something coming on the and of 4 there, that top voice, F. So the whole measure, 1 and 2, is that right? Excuse me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 4 and. Okay, so I did not count that right. Let me try one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There we go. So, except obviously a lot faster. So that's the first measure. I just wanted to count it out for you. Joel does not play it exactly like that. He, of course, is phenomenal keyboardist. So either way, we have the MIDI keys, so you can try to play him. You can pause it. You can, or then I have it notated, or you can switch it up. John Legend on the second go around on that melody, I give you all, where he says I give you all. There at letter D at the bottom of the page. He plays it that way, and then if you look over here on the third page, this is still the same section. That's D repeated again. I give you all, but he plays it differently. Let's see. He plays a completely different type, a little thing there. So it's okay to have your own interpretation and study different ways of doing it. So enjoy the video with Joel, and we'll see you next time.
We're going to take a look at All of Me by John Legend, and this song is in the key of A flat, and it is in cut time the way it has been displayed on some sheet music, and we'll come back and talk about some of those ideas at the end. Going to play the intro and then just play through some of the sections. The song can pretty much be broken down into, I would say, 4 sections. There's a 5th section that comes after the last chorus, or after one of the choruses later in the song, but it's actually a repeat of a little bridge. So as far as the chord changes. So I'm going to play through it a little bit, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay. second verse. My head. Chorus. Cards on the table. Chorus. Check it out. All right, very nice song, very nice changes, and this song again is in the key of A flat. A flat has 4 flats, and that's going to be B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. Okay, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. Starting on the scale, it's A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat. Okay. The major chords are going to be on the 1, A flat, the 4, that would be D flat, the 5, E flat. All right, so A flat major voicing, even if you wanted to put an A flat major 9, that's my 9, that's the 7, relative to A flat. I can play a D flat major 7 on the 4, that's the 7, relative to D flat. E flat major on the 5. Usually not going to have a major 7 on that E flat because there's no D natural in the key. But if we do, it would be an accidental. You can do things that you hear, but knowing that that D is not in the scale. So if you put a 4th chord or note in that chord, it would be more of a dominant bluesy sound. And that dominant sound usually gets us back to 1 in more gospel settings. Now in this song, the pattern starts for the intro and for the verse will be a 6 to the 4 to the 1 to the 5, 6, 4, 1, 5. All right. The more you get into knowing the progressions of songs, you'll begin to see similar progressions on a lot of tunes out there, no matter if it's gospel or what. If you're familiar with Avicii, Wake Me Up, the same changes. It's going to be on the 6, 4, 1, 5. You'll hear the same change on Say Something I'm Giving Up on You, Christina Aguilera. So those progressions are going to be very important. Usually again on the 6, it builds a minor sound, but the way they're playing it in this song, you're getting more of a of the 5, a 5th, instead of the 3 is not in there. Flat 3rd, it's not in there. So you're getting more of this sound. So when I go to the 4, which is D flat major, I'm playing the 3 of D flat and the 1. So this is an F5, D flat without the 5, omit the 5, and then coming back to the 5 of A flat and the 3 of A flat with no 1. So it's more just 2 notes. Then end it with a E flat 5. There's no 3. All right. So that's the main thrust of the intro. And then once I got into the verse, I start playing more of the chord. Sometimes the 5th, sometimes I'll put a chord in there, and then I'll stay there with the 5ths of that F chord when I went to D flat. That gives me the D flat major 7 sound, because this is my 3 and that's my 7 relative to D flat major. Okay, so and then when I came here to A flat, I'm on the 5 and the 3 in that verse. Now I can put the F minor sound in there. Gives me a nice F or D flat major 7 sound. Now I'm filling the chords up with an A flat. All right. So what you're seeing is now I'm just calling the chords out, but then to fill it up, you'll get into some more arpeggio sounds. We're in cut time, so the actually that would be more like 1, 2, 1, 2. So how's it feeling? 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. So actually, make sure I say 1, 2, 1, 2. More like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Was counting too slow. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So what happens in cut time is basically 2 beats to a measure, and the half note gets 1 beat. So when you see a half note on the page, the half note will move like a quarter note. The quarter note will feel like an eighth note. So if this is tempo 1, 2, 1, 2, when you see a quarter note on the page, it would have a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and feel. And then the 16th note or the 8th note would have more of a 16th note feel. 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and okay. So you'll get used to it's kind of weird when you see it on paper for the first time, because your brain's trying to think in 4/4 time, where the quarter note gets 1 beat, but in cut time the quarter note gets 2. I mean, the quarter note gets half a beat, the half note gets 1. Okay, quarter note gets half a beat, half note gets 1 beat, and there's 2 beats to measure. Okay, so I'm gonna play a little bit more of an arpeggio feel in the verse. Still has a 6, 4, 1, 5. So A flat to E flat. I can play the 5th. Now that's a major 7 feel. Back to the 1, to the 5. Now I'm going to the bridge. My head's underwater. It goes to the 2. So now I'm playing the minor third of B flat and the flat 7. It's underwater. Now I'm on the A flat with the 3 and the 1. Water, I'll be just fine. All right. Now in my left hand, I love to play fifths. Kind of fills it up a little bit there. Put a little flat 7, coming back to the 1, to the 5. Now that's the pattern of the second section, the bridge there. My head's underwater. It goes to the 2, stays there, then it goes to the 1, to the 5. So 2, 2, to the 1, to the 5. Back to the 2, which is B flat minor, to the 1, to the 5. Okay, gonna do it again. Now notice I can take the chord, hold the chord, but then turn those chords into arpeggios, thinking rhythmically how would I want to land it. Da 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 ba da da ba to the 1. Now notice the pattern hasn't changed. I'm just taking that 2, 1, 5 and breaking it up into arpeggios. And then using the sustain pedal to give me some sustaining and connectivity between it. Lift, sustain, lift, sustain. Back to this. But notice the pattern has not changed. I'm using just different variations of the chord as far as arpeggios. Which note do I want to select to move around through the chord? Then we'll get into the chorus. The chorus is it's on the 1, then to the 6. All right. So I'm on that F minor, which is the 6, but I'm starting out with the fifths in the left hand, an F and a C, and then I'm playing the 9 or just the whole step relative to F minor, and then resolving to an F minor chord. Going to a D flat 6. All right, a D flat 6 is going to have a 1 relative to D flat, a third, and a 6. But one way you can play it easier without thinking about D flat 6, I'm just playing a B flat minor chord in my left hand and topping it off with a B flat. Then going to a D flat over E flat. So once you play a D flat over E flat, that's going to give you like a suspended dominant sound. So here's a E flat major. Suspend will be the A flat. Therefore, the D flat is the flat 7. If I put an F in there, that'll make it more of a suspended ninth. So and there's a 13. So if I just take that 13 out, you can see the D flat chord there, D flat F, A flat. So that's my flat 7, my 9, suspended, resolve. Back to the 1, to the 6, to the 4, D flat 6, D flat over E, suspending on the 5, resolve. Now, then once we go to I give you all of me, he sings it high, all of me. So it's the same changes as the intro, 6, 4, 1, 5. So he's walking down the melody. So the 1, 7, 6, 5, 3, 3. Walk it down. 1, 7, 6, 5, 3, 3. So you hear that melody just walking right down the A flat scale. So therefore, knowing what the scale is, it makes it easier to pick those notes out, knowing that I'm in A flat. So 1, 7, 6, 5, 3. My bass changes though. F minor, D flat major, A flat, and that's the E flat, the 5. So 6, 4, 1, 5. Now the melody on top. All of me, and you give me all of you. Okay, so you'll see how that works there. The changes for that section is the exact same change as the verse. We're just adding the melody on top that will coincide with that. Then we've played the verse, we've done the bridge, we've done the chorus. Now, when they come back, the cards are on the table, you know. The cards on the table, we're both showing hearts. All right, so now same changes as the bridge. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. So it's on the 2, B flat minor, on the 1, A flat, to the 5, E flat. Back to the 2, using arpeggios. On the 1, 5, okay? So that's that section there, just like the bridge earlier. So when you step back and you're listening to the progressions of the song, it is so easy to get caught up listening to the singing and listening to different things in the song without listening to where's the bass? What is the bass actually doing? Again, in the intro, 6, 4, 1, 5. That's the verse. The bridge, 2, 2. That's gonna do it again to the 1, 5. Back to the 2, 2, 1, 5. Chorus on the 1 to the 6 to the 4 to the 5. All right. Then we'll go into I give you all of me, the 6, just like the verse. 4, 1, 5. Then back to cards on the table, just like the bridge earlier. 2, 1, to the 5. To the 5. Then it comes back to the chorus, which is the 1. To the 6. F minor. D flat 6. D flat over E, resolve to E flat. Do it again. To 1 to the 6. 4. To the D flat over E flat. Then resolve it. Then six. 4 to the 1. Again, F minor, D flat to the 1, A flat, 5. Okay, so some technique that I like to use, you'll see it, I believe, Hertz, H-E-R-Z, or a number of other drills where you'll actually hold several keys down, like for example in the C position, and you'll get used to holding everything down and striking only lifting and striking the note you want to play. Everything is down except C. Then I hold C down. Helps build independence. Now E, F, then okay, and G. So what that does is allow everything to stay down, but except the notes I'm striking. That gives good finger independence. And sometimes you might hold 2 notes down, D and F. And now I'm playing C E, G. Hold down F and G. Hold down C and D. Okay, those are good drills to help give you the independence while I'm holding. So I'm chording in both hands, but still soloing with the with my pinky, finger 5, you know. So okay, so that'll allow you to still voice without having to be limited to fewer notes in the left hand and having an open spacey sound, but yet it's not too thick and too clustery, because we're not really playing gospel. This is more of a ballad that's a little bit more open, and you'll see that those thirds and fifths and sevens, but leaving some things out for fifth, or you know, to actually get more of the sixth sound, to give more open sound. All right. Awesome song. Hope you enjoy. Have a great day.